We will call the town board meeting for February 21st, 2024 to order. We are going to be short one supervisor tonight, but I think we can handle it. Steve Ruzek is on vacation. First item on the agenda is the approval. Patrick?
Yes, Mr. Chair, if it pleases the board, a couple things. Number one, we do have a representative to speak here on behalf of consent agenda A. If we could pull that for his comments, we would appreciate it. Under old business, so let's do 6A for old business. I would like to have an initial discussion regarding posting of the open board seat, or that's coming up here with Scott.
Okay.
And then you had something else to add as well, Mr. Chair.
Item 8 under new business, 8A. I want to talk about the White Bear Lake Historical Society / Armory.
Okay. With those changes, I would submit the agenda for the board's approval.
Anything else?
No. I'll move to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, next item is approval of payment of the bills. Scott, you looked at them?
I looked at them. I move to approve payment of the bills.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion carries. Item 4 is approval of minutes of February 5th.
I saw nothing to change.
Neither did Steve. So,
He's on vacation.
yeah, I know.
So I will move to approve the minutes from February 5th.
All right, I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, item 5 is consent agenda. I think we have 7 of them.
Since we're moving 5A off and all the others will remain, I'll move to approve the consent agenda as amended.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, jumping into item 5A. Mr. Snell, you have a comment on this?
Yeah, just take a minute.
This was just going to be a consent agenda for us to adopt the resolution proclaiming the month of April 2024 as Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month.
Yes.
And you'd like to add something to this?
I just wanted to say, first of all, I want to really thank you for giving me this opportunity again for 2024 like you did in 2023 when you endorsed Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month. So I really appreciate that. Just 2 real quick things I wanted to bring up is that, first of all, when it comes to jobs, 80% of the college graduates that have autism are either unemployed or underemployed. While at the same time, if someone on the autism spectrum can find or is interested in a job where they like what they like, they typically will do 110% better than other employees because they're intensely focused, detail-oriented, and really want to do a good job for their employer. Second, I wanted to just bring up an issue related to our schools. The White Bear School District does a phenomenal job in helping students on the autism spectrum. But nationwide, according to CBS News, 63% of autistic students that are in our schools are bullied on a regular basis. Now, I don't know what this is nationwide, not here in White Bear, but that's a big issue. And so by the township endorsing this resolution, you really send a message to our community how important it is to not only just accept people that have autism, but to celebrate their neurodiversity. It makes our community much richer and fuller by doing that. So that's what I wanted to say, and I hope again this year you'll endorse this resolution tonight like you did before right on the spot. Thank you very much.
Mr. Snell, just a quick question. Maybe Patrick can help us. Is there maybe a link on our website that we could be putting up for someone who'd want to look for jobs or employees who are looking for those sorts of?
Yeah, I can get information about that. I wrote an article in the White Bear Press, but there are a couple of different organizations that have that can help employers do the interview process, and that's where a lot of autistic people don't get jobs because they don't interview very well. You know, they don't look at they have a hard time looking at somebody's face, so they'll look away, and that's one of the reasons why that get turned down for a lot of jobs. But I can get that information to
Well, if you wanna
the
keep in
township.
Touch with Patrick,
Send it on my way, Tom.
I will send it to you.
and we'll get something on the website.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
So I hope again you'll endorse the resolution now. So hint, hint.
All right.
Taken.
Anyone else want to speak to this?
This may not.
Name and address for the record.
Logan Guion, 12599 Europa Avenue North of Hugo. Last time I thought I was part of White Bear Township, and now I'm Hugo because my street sign is green.
Bummer.
Yeah, found that out. I did want to bring awareness to a different story that is happening in White Bear at the moment. Unfortunately, it will not perfectly coincide with April 2024, but Lakeshore players at the Hannafil are doing the play Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, a fantastic book with a neurodivergent main character. However, the production has had a rather unfortunate history with Broadway, and Lakeshore is taking many actions with PAI regarding sensory, not sensory overloading people who are seeing it, so that should neurodivergent people or people with autism go and see this play, they will enjoy it and they will not be overwhelmed. So yeah, I just wanted to put that into public record that there is, a cultural event coming up that does celebrate autism and the unique things that people with autism can bring. So there we go.
I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Any other questions, comments?
I will move to adopt the resolution proclaiming the month of April 2024 as Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Snell.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving on. Item 6 is old business. You want to talk about the upcoming vacancy for the,
Tragic events of White Bear Township losing one of its board supervisors is right around the corner.
It is.
It really is. Do you have a last meeting date that you have in mind yet?
I was figuring likely April executive meeting, likely, because I would expect us to be moving by the early May at the latest.
well, just some quick background. Scott is moving out of the area, so you cannot no longer serve on the board.
Although we'd love to have him, we can't.
I don't see that big a deal commuting.
Unfortunately, there's a statute that runs.
No, come on, come on.
Dual residency?
So what I'd like to do is, Chad, I guess I'd like to get a little bit of direction on this. I mean, what's the board's pleasure at this point? I mean, we're required to post the seat as open?
No, you're not. But, no, you're not really required to post it, but it's a wise way to do it.
Okay.
And again, for the public, the replacement under statute is chosen by the remaining board members and the town clerk.
Okay.
All right, so
Together, the three
Chad,
together.
can Scott have a seat at the table when we do that?
Good question, Ed.
He's, as long as he's not, he hasn't resigned yet or hasn't moved out, sure he can. Because the way, actually, it's a good point, because
That's the
until
case, I
such
don't have to
time,
be.
until, no, you have to be.
They got
Under the statute.
All right.
Under the statute, the committee is the town board and the town clerk.
Okay.
I better double check about that,
Well,
because,
Well, then you also want to check, does the sale of his house declare the last time he's a resident?
no, you could be a renter. The minute he's no longer has an established address in the township.
Okay. I was just wondering if that would give us a little more leeway. If your house doesn't sell right away, we could drag you out for another month or two.
It's all based on residency.
We wish you well, Scott.
It's all based on residency.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll double check about that. That's good, it's an interesting point.
So could you find that out for Friday?
Oh, sure.
We've
No
got our
problem.
executive
No
meeting.
problem at all.
what's the board's pleasure? I mean, when would you want me to start posting this? Do you want to post it?
And then just to clarify, it would only be interim until
Yes.
the next general election.
fall.
In November.
Yeah, just, for the public, when a board member has to resign,
Part of the township statute.
part of that, under the statute, that the remaining board members and the town clerk appoint a replacement who serves until the next election.
And that person who's appointed has the right to run for that position.
Of course,
still.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
I guess I don't feel comfortable doing anything tonight because Steve is not here.
okay,
So I would prefer to wait till exec meeting
okay,
to decide a path that we want to take.
that's fine.
And then I'll answer the one question you have, I'll have an answer. by
You should be
then.
back, yes.
I just only because it's going to get down to if Scott can attend, that's just me and Steve and you. So I'd feel more comfortable if Steve had input on this.
Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to get it on everybody's radar. Start thinking about it, because if we're gonna get any kind of a process in place, we got to get a direction here in the next week or so.
Right.
What are you laughing at?
Brought this up a while ago.
I know.
Well, we were hoping that they'd
Did you change your mind? Thank you, Mr. Chair and board.
All right, let's see, we missed one, $6, the Town Hall cell tower lease extension.
This is, or Chad, you provided direction through your memo on this a couple weeks ago. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Well, the present leaseholder, the assignee of the lease, has approached the township requesting an extension because the existing lease runs out in 2034. Remember, what was it, 20? I mean, my letter was
25.
2025?
Yep.
And my letter was included, so I forgot exactly. And so what they simply want to basically re-up the lease
And we've done this
before.
dozens of times.
Yeah. It's nothing earth-shaking.
I almost hesitated putting it on its own agenda item. It might have just been as well under consent.
Well, I think it's good, the township
Yep.
should know what's going on, but yeah.
Will this have any effect on our lease on the property there with Forest Products?
No, because that's simply a ground lease, and the tower is excluded from that ground lease.
Okay.
No, there's no conflict there.
Would there be a conflict if the trailhead ends up there with,
Good question.
Well, it's still town property,
Yeah.
and if the county desires to obtain an easement, they will have to take the easement subject to this.
but we would still maintain the property?
Exactly. I haven't seen anything saying they intend to acquire the property from the township.
Well, it's a pretty small piece, but we've also had that zone specific to a certain area, and if that all of a sudden becomes a trailhead, now we're gonna have to go out in the town and find someplace else for that
Yep,
zoning.
Good
yes.
point.
Good luck.
I know, we don't really have anything. All right, just something that I'm gonna keep up with when this, so we don't get caught blindsided when this
Well,
comes up.
actually, now that you mentioned that, that's a really good point, because we have to be, the trailhead could, that could cause an issue, cause some problems.
I thought I remembered there was some question in this amendment about subleasing.
Yes,
We do that with a lot of our other cell
right,
towers.
yeah, they do reserve the right, if they sublease to Verizon, they'll pay the town another $500 a month. That's correct.
All right,
Actually, that was part of the Second Amendment that was signed back in December of 2022.
So this is now going to take it out to 2056.
Yeah.
wanna come back for that, Scott?
Yes.
Wow, that'd be, I would be pushing it at that point.
All right, any other comments, questions?
You?
If not, I need a motion to accept this lease.
I will move to approve the agreement to amend the lease from Crown Castle to extend the lease for the communication site with T-Mobile LLC.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, that motion carries. We have no public hearing, so the last item is under new business. I was contacted by the White Bear Lake Historical Society. They're basically, all they're looking for is a letter of support. They want to try to solicit some funds from the state to rehabilitate the armory into a museum. And I think the mayor of White Bear has already chimed in. Montemita has already supported them. Birchwood is. So I think it's just a matter if we can draft something up to get to them. They're meeting with Senator Karen Housley Monday. So if we give the go-ahead tonight, if you can get something to her, I think I sent you the contact info.
Okay. You want me to draft it on behalf of the board?
Yeah,
Happy to do so.
it's just, it feels better coming from the board than it does just from me.
Yep. Can do.
Fine with me.
And I think I've already responded to her. I just let her know I keep her up to speed after tonight, so.
Yep. I'll respond as well.
I don't know, do we need a formal motion on that, or it's just staff?
Staff directive.
Okay. All right, that concludes our regular agenda. Open time. I noticed we have, Ralph is here. Anything? Just state your name and address for the record.
Ralph Tilma, 4294 Oakmead Lane, White Bear Township. Just looking at the agenda, does this indicate that North Oaks does not have any wells?
Oh, no, they have a lot of wells,
Okay.
but they're not municipal. They're all private.
Actually, they don't have any municipal wells,
Oh, okay.
but there's a lot of private wells. But there's no municipal wells.
Oh, so why do we have anything to do with their water then?
Because, if I don't mind, the eastern edge of North Oaks
Abuts us.
abuts us, and was it 1999?
1999.
That's right, yeah. They came to the township and asked if we would provide water to some of the subdivisions. They have some subdivisions that run along Centerville Road there, and they asked if we would provide water, the township would provide water, and the township agreed to. It's worked fine, but I think that, well, I'll let the board explain why they felt there should be a change. But it's been going on for, since 1999.
Well, we've got these new tenements that are going up along Centerville Road. Are we going to supply water to those buildings?
Which ones?
Which ones are you talking about, Ralph?
On
the
east
west side
yeah.
or east side?
The west side.
West side. Those are North Oaks. Yes.
Those condominiums?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are.
Yep.
We're supplying water to them.
And they're buying it
We
from us.
basically supply water, everything north of the railroad tracks, all the way up to County Road J, within about a mile off Centerville Road.
Both sides.
Well, obviously, our side is Township, but
East side of Centerville is us.
the west side is North Oaks.
Just
And in the past, we've also had some sewer connections there. So we've had joint powers agreements with North Oaks to maintain their lift stations and their water. What we're doing with this new joint powers agreement, we're basically telling North Oaks, we will still supply the water, but you are now responsible for the maintenance of the water and sewer on your side.
Okay.
What we're trying to do is just free up our public works. This has gotten to be a lot more intensive, and I don't want to see the township have to hire 3 more people to service North Oaks.
As they grow and
Right.
require.
Yeah, they're
that.
growing out there quite a bit.
Yeah.
And some of those water lines are going to be lengthy back alongside those cul-de-sacs
They are.
in there.
So we're only going to have probably 4 or 5 connections across Centerville with one main connection, and then they're responsible on the other side.
For all the branch lines.
This is basically similar to Shoreview does the same thing with them on 96. So it's nothing new for them.
No.
It's just, it's gotten too cumbersome for us.
and just
We're going to have enough water to do that?
Well, right now we do.
We do now. We have a surplus.
We do. Huh?
Yes.
we have about 50 million gallons.
I think it's 60.
This is a 60.
Yeah.
Well, you better not let that be.
We know. We know.
Because we've been pressed for more.
That's
and
going
it's
to be
just-
pretty
We've
touchy.
had to pull the reins back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, every time there's a proposed addition in North Oaks that wants to be served, they have to come. There's no blanket agreement with North Oaks that every time they build a project on the east side of North Oaks that they get water. It's project by project.
Ralph, we still have the same problem on our side. We've got some big chunks of land that we have to be careful what we allow to go in there because of the water usage, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I've been to a lot of meetings here, listened to Chad about all the stipulations we're going to have with water in the future. And some of the stipulations and restrictions we're going to have on home watering. And so you better not let out there too far that we have a surplus at the same time you're telling people they can't water their lawn.
The surplus is going to go quick.
Trust me, we've been talking about this for how many years now?
Yeah, 12.
Well, actually, we informed North Oaks Company in 2018 that they cannot count on having water, a water supply from the township. They've been aware of that for a long time.
Several years now.
Well, hopefully those folks in North Oaks are going to be smart enough to figure out how to use the utility envelope.
We've been asking for a Plan B for as long as I can remember. We'll see. We've given them a deadline now, so.
Have you seen the MOU yet, Ralph?
What?
Have you seen the memorandum? I'm sorry, I used an acronym on you. A memorandum of understanding that we have with North Oaks that replaces the old agreement.
No.
Okay. Well, just let you know that really the township will be running their system through December 31st of this year.
Yeah.
And then as of January 1 of 2025, they're on their own. Other than the fact
And it was approved by the North Oaks Council last week.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, the number of Audis I see traveling in and out of there makes me realize that they can afford just about anything.
I believe they've said as much.
All right, I really came here for another reason, not to badger the board.
It's okay.
I see on the corner down here at White Bear Parkway and Otter Lake that we're going to have another garage.
They call it condo storage.
Something like that.
Yeah, office condos.
It's an office condo storage area.
They're actually a storage condo, yeah.
So is that going to be more than one story?
No, but they are fairly tall, 20 feet,
Yeah, close to,
22,
yeah.
24, somewhere in there.
So they can get in like a motorhome or something like that?
And that was the whole purpose, so we can get some of these people who are parking all these things outside. Hopefully they'll take advantage of that and park them inside.
Hey, way to look at the positive side of it.
And they're also marketed towards small businesses.
And then where's the entrance going to be? Off of Otter Lake or White
Oh,
Bear
it's off the
Parkway?
Parkway.
Parkway.
Okay, that's smart because it wouldn't be too good to have two turnoffs right next to each other on Otter Lake Road. You know,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't be. Because people are driving off on the shoulder already around me, and now they're going to be doing it twice for somebody else. So
I got you.
it's a good thing that it's going to be off Otter Lake Road.
A lot of this was started by car guys. They want to have their man cave. They can't have it at their house, so these guys rent these garages. Basically, it's a big garage with just a restroom where they can actually put a lift in it, work on their cars,
Yeah.
store them, whatever. So, like I said, hopefully this just helps us clean up the neighborhood.
And was that township property or is that privately owned?
That was township property.
All of that is back there?
It was, yeah. It's now private.
We're
All the
trying to make the township some bucks.
Yep.
So it goes all the way back to that,
To the pond there.
yeah.
Yep.
These folks bought it all?
They sure did.
Did they say that they're going to expand?
They can't.
They can't.
can't?
That southwestern portion of the lot is unbuildable.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for your time.
You bet.
Always interesting to come here.
Of course.
We try to make it interesting, Ralph.
It is. I learned a lot of things.
All right, now I just lost.
I've returned Logan Guion, 12599 Europa Avenue North, Hugo. I need to bring an item of concern to your attention. I stopped by 1281 Hammond Road the other day. And upon telling the staff there that I had started my paper at the position, I was received with numerous bribes, a coffee mug, a travel coffee mug, and a hard copy of White Bear, A History.
Would you be careful with that?
That's allowable. Keep in mind, you can't bribe a private citizen.
Yes, I am a private citizen. This was not a bribe. It was a joke.
I'm sure they tried to give you
understand.
4 or 5
So
of
was
those
mine.
hardcover copies.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
They said they would give me a pallet. And I told them I did not have the trunk space. No, but I did want to thank their hospitality, and also they answered many of my questions and helped set me up for future meetings, and gave me a really nice. It's a nice book too. It's not even. It's nice.
There's a lot of background went into that, and we'd like to thank Sarah Hansen specifically from White Bear Lake Historical Society.
Yeah. Yes. Wish her a speedy recovery. But separately in there, Karen at the desk, she, your meetings are very efficient. And so sometimes I can't reach the 300 word count. So
That's the requirement before we hit the paper?
That's why we don't go. Keep them short.
I have to hit the paper. And so I will make 300 words. But Karen, I had said, hey, now I know it's 5 non-contiguous areas as White Bear Township. But she said that there's a 6th. Is that true? It's like a strip of railroad track or something?
Oh, yeah.
That's
right.
We don't like to talk about that one.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, so sorry. I'm sorry. So, okay, but we don't like to talk about that. No,
The 5 non-contiguous portions are correct.
and a random railroad track. So yeah, I figured that would be a nice fun fact for the readers. They're like, oh, did you know there's a 6th little one that doesn't matter?
Well, it's not occupied by anybody but right away from the railroad. So.
Yeah, it can't be. Yeah. So understood. Thank you. But yes, thank you for the warm welcome from your staff as well.
Yep. You must have been nice to them.
Yeah.
They respond very well to that.
All right, seeing no one else here, Scott, I need a motion to receive agenda material and supplements.
So moved.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll oppose. Then I need a motion to adjourn at 7:27.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Done.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Not a record.
Ralph, to answer your questions about the water.